So here we have a state which says you must do this, you must drink this, you must eat this, we know it's good for you, and yet no one checks, no one takes responsibility. So what's happening there? You have to take the responsibility yourself for something someone else is doing to you. That's a crime.
How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel as a parent?
Oh, terrible, because I want to protect my children. I want to give them every opportunity to be healthy and happy and functional in the community. And, you know, I love them dearly. It makes me feel really helpless.
What can people do that you think would be useful to empower people again?
Obviously, you have to do what you can do on a personal level. You know, you can't worry about things that you can't do, but there are things that you can do. You can talk to other people, you can help raise awareness, you can first of all make yourself very informed. Then when you have the knowledge, you can help others to understand things better, because knowledge is power. When you understand something, you understand what causes something, you also know the remedy. You then know how to protect yourself and your family. You have a better start. You know, it's just knowing your territory like a good Boy Scout. Where is north, south, east and west? How can you go anywhere, travel anywhere unless you know your bearings? Understanding fluoride, understanding the toxins in the environment, understanding those things gives you tools to manage your life and your health much better, so that you don't become a cripple in the system and become totally disempowered, because when you're sick, you're disempowered. You can't do the things you normally do. Life isn't worth living without your health. It's miserable. And you can't take the money with you. Money is worth nothing. Health is everything. It's not about the money in this world. It's about life. And fluoride takes our life away, our lifeblood, and that of future generations. We're passing this poison on to our future generations. And you know, how in the old days, Australia used to be one of the leaders in doing the right thing. We were more careful with pesticides and chemicals and imports, and we had to check that they didn't have this disease and that disease, and we were an island nation which had the best reputation for pure foods and good things, because we were careful and we did independent government funded studies, not funded by the profiteering organisations. We had real science in the old days, and we were protected to some extent. We had better information. These days, the information is taken away. Unless you work really hard to pay for freedom of information documents, you often don't get the right information. It's very sad what's happening. It's like our rights and freedoms are being taken away. Information is being denied that we should be getting, and no one's taking responsibility. It's very sad, and I think people need to wake up. Things are not going in a good direction. If they want to protect themselves and their family, they need to be aware of the issue and the science, to take the right precautions, to tell their friends and relatives, to talk to their politicians, to give their politicians confidence that, you know, they want something to happen, so that the politicians have more confidence that they can stand up for people's rights, so they're not afraid to be browbeaten by the system that wants to control them.
In 2007, the National Health and Medical Research Council released a report titled A Systematic Review of the Efficacy and Safety of Fluoridation. According to Professor Paul Connett, Emeritus Professor of Environmental Chemistry in St. Lawrence University, USA, the NHMRC report, quote, is being cited around the fluoridating world as the final word on safety and effectiveness of water fluoridation. However, as far as addressing health concerns, a careful reading of this report indicates that at best it's a work of professional incompetence, or at worst, an example of scientific fraud in which scientific information is manipulated to support a preordained conclusion. End of quote. These are strong words. It would seem that not all scientists agree that water fluoridation is completely safe and effective. What are your views, Sandy, on the NHMRC report, and do you believe it addresses all fluoridation health concerns adequately?
No, it whitewashes many fluoridation concerns, and it didn't even address all of the issues that were put to it by the government. It cherry picks the information. It doesn't do any of its own studies. In fact, NHMRC is a government organisation that actually employs other contractors to do that work, and those contractors happen to be private companies that work for the pharmaceutical companies to get their drugs approved into the Medicare system. So it's really not independent. You can't say that that organisation is arm's length enough for my liking anyway. I think there's too many people with self-interest involved in promoting the fluoride that makes whatever they say, that in my books it's discounted. It doesn't count. We need more independence to be believable and credible. If you suspect that you may have magnesium deficiency, or if your naturopath has advised you that you need a supplement, and you've tried tablets and powders and still have the symptoms of deficiency, which might be cramps or involuntary muscle twitches, or certain other symptoms, and you're looking for a better alternative, then transdermal absorption is going to be much better for you because there's no digestion involved. And you can do that using the natural magnesium chloride salt flakes dissolved in water, or using the moisturizer with the magnesium infused into natural plant butters. And through the skin is very easily absorbed, up to 12 times more efficiently taken up by the cells. It's very easy, it's very safe, there are no contraindications, and you can also use the magnesium flakes in solution as a mouthwash. And if you have filtered water using reverse osmosis or distilled or tank water, rainwater, the water has no minerals in it, which lowers its pH. Now, cells actually like mineralized water because it's a higher pH. And so what you can do with the magnesium flakes is you can put a tiny pinch, maybe 3 or 5 flakes, in a 1.25 litre bottle, which will lift the pH by remineralizing that water. Actually makes it very nice to drink as well. It's very palatable. There are other companies now actually filtering the water, and they have a magnesium filter in there which has a slow release magnesium. So they're promoted as an alkaline water, and there are many different companies that do that now. That's another way to do the same thing. But if you want to do it manually, if you don't have that special kind of a filter, then you can just use the natural magnesium chloride flakes for that purpose.
And what would you say to people that are still drinking, cooking and bathing in fluoridated water?
People that are immersing themselves in fluoride are really sitting on a health time bomb, which will go off 100% guaranteed in your body over time. It will age you prematurely. It will trigger many different illnesses or diseases or degeneration, just depending on your genetic inheritance. It may lead to cancer. It may lead to immune system disorders. It may lead to thyroid problems. There's a whole host of systemic problems that come from fluoride toxicity, not even mentioning the osteoporosis or skeletal fluorosis, which is often misdiagnosed. If magnesium is essential for life, and fluoride robs your magnesium, which is essential for life, then fluoride is going to rob your life Fluoride is bad. Fluoride is a toxin. Fluoride does not make life possible. Fluoride will stop your normal biological function. So people often don't realize that they're not even getting a pharmaceutical grade fluoride in the drinking water. I mean, that to me is a total insult. And even more worrying is that politicians don't know where the fluoride comes from. They don't. Now, I've just found out we're getting our source from China. So we're getting all their industrial pollutants repackaged for us. You don't know what's in there. Who's tested it? Where are the test results to show what the ingredients are, what it's made up of, how much fluoride is in there and how much other stuff is in there? We don't know. The politicians don't know. Who's running the show here?